Are you trapped? Do you know why you're trapped? Because you've labeled yourself. That's exactly right. You've made a label for yourself. You said, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. And because you've said that, you've created a pattern of thought. That pattern of thought gives you either expanded view of yourself or a limited view of yourself. And that's a really interesting concept to get a hold of because we don't think that we label ourselves. We don't think that we limit ourselves, but we do. I'm Lee Wallach. That's a limitation. Why? Because of all the things that I've associated with Lee Wallach and what he's done and what he can do. I have to disassociate myself from the label. I have to disassociate myself so I can become more expansive. Or I can say that Lee Wallach is open to the possibility that he's wrong about who he is. Lee Wallach is open to the idea that he can expand and become anything he chooses. Lee Wallach is open to whatever it is. So when we use words and feelings about ourselves, we're literally creating the energy, the atmosphere into which we think. And all these limitations that have accumulated through our life, the older we get, the harder it is to break it, unless we really work on this idea of becoming aware that we're not that. We could be so much more, and that every moment of every day, we have the opportunity to change who we see ourselves as. Doesn't matter how other people see us, it only matters how we see ourselves. Do you see yourself as healthy? Do you see yourself as a creator or do you see yourself as a victim? Do you see yourself as abundant? Do you see yourself with opportunities unlimited in front of you? Or do you feel trapped? If you feel trapped, it's the identity that you've attached to yourself. And most of the time, it's not that identity that you've chosen. It's the identity that your parents have labeled you with. That maybe a teacher in school that you bought into labeled you with. Maybe it's your position at the job that people have labeled you as only this. But you see, anytime you buy into a label, you limit yourself. You actually put yourself in prison. One of the things I would suggest is to just simply take a moment and go into quiet. Take some deep breaths. Go into quiet and ask the question, is what I've labeled myself at serving me? Is it expansive? Is it about more love? Is it about more life? Because let's be honest with each other. The reason we're here is to experience more and more and more life. But our own image of ourself is the one thing that is holding us back. Because the image of ourself only allows certain thoughts that fit that image to come in. And if only certain thoughts that fit that image come in, we're limited. There's no possibility of expansion. You can't hear anything new. That's why one of the things I've learned recently is that when you're in any situation, can you say, I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong and that there's another way of looking at this? That's a great question to ask. I'm open to the possibility that I could be wrong and there's another way to look at this. You were created without a label. That label has been thrown upon you. You bought into it. You've enhanced it or you've contracted it, whatever. But that label limits you. I am limitless. That's what I say to myself. I am limitless. I am Lee. I'm open to new possibilities. I'm open to new ideas. I'm open to feeling greater than I've ever felt before. I'm open to experience greater and greater and greater abundance. I'm open to perfect health. Does the label you've created for yourself support those ideas? It's a great question. It's a great way to start your day. It's a great way to begin life again. With that, I look forward to seeing who you become now that you're limitless. Much love.